All right, ladies and gentlemen, day one of the World Series of Bowling. Day one qualifying, I should say. We had practice session yesterday. Practice session went really well. I ended up drilling a couple of balls. Surprise, surprise, a couple of motive balls. My Lethal Venom looked really good on most of the patterns. I drilled a Pride Dynasty in between tournaments to fit in as one of my strong slower balls. That looks really good on all the patterns. So we are drilling a Black Venom to fill the gap between my Lethal Venom and the red ball. So the Primal, I can't open the door. Primal Evolution, that will fill my gap between there. And then I also drilled a Venom Shock to also fill the gap because it's a little bit stronger cover than what the Black Venom was. So drilled those both with 4-inch pins. We're gonna touch them with surface, probably put like 2,000 on them. But essentially those are gonna be bowling balls that I can use later in blocks when I get a little bit further left and I need a little bit quicker motion. And then if those fail, which I don't anticipate them failing because my red ball looked really good later in the day. I just needed something a little bit sooner than that. I always have stuff like my Origin. I've got my Attention Star, certain bowling balls that are just a little bit quicker down lane. So that's the kind of the nice thing of not being on staff with anybody. Although Tim Mack asked me if I needed anything yesterday, I think I'm okay for now. So if I do need quicker bowling balls, I will go drill some storm balls. But for right now, I drilled a couple of motive balls. Brett's been really good to me, so I'm really liking the shapes that I'm getting with a lot of the motive balls. So I'm gonna keep those in my bag and use those because they are more predictable. I understand them a little bit better. So that's what we're doing. So I'm gonna head upstairs, and A squad's bowling right now. I'm on B squad. We've got 8 days of qualifying on 4 different patterns. So each pattern we bowl on twice, 6 games each day. Today we bowl on Scorpion, and then tomorrow we bowl on Scorpion. After 12 games, they cut to, I think it's like the top 24, maybe. I think, I'm not really sure. And then you do match play after that. So it's gonna be interesting. They played fairly tight, which they typically do in this building. They usually do play fairly tight, a little bit of volume. We're bowling a couple different oils, so we're using fire and ice. 2 patterns on ice, 2 patterns on fire. So it'll be a challenge. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be cool. So we're gonna head upstairs. I'm gonna go put my backpack with my stuff. I'll show you the bowling balls that I brought, and then we'll go watch some of A squad for now. All right, welcome back into the paddock. As A squad is bowling, you can see a lot of bowling balls. 100 and however many bowlers today. So let's go over and let's talk about the bowling balls that I have. All right, so we're taking out as our big smooth strong ball. We got a pin down outer limit solid, the pin down Lethal Venom, pin up Pride Dynasty. This one we drilled on the truck for middle games to see if we can't kind of blend the middle out a little bit, something a little bit cleaner, that'd be a little bit rounded, a little bit pin up, but that's closer to like 50 degrees, so it's not gonna be crazy. This is the Daddy, the pin down Evoke Hysteria, really, really good. Drilled that in between last tour stop and this one. Then we've got our old trusty Primal Evolution, pin up 5.5-inch pin. That one always looks good real late in the day. And then the other one we drilled yesterday was the Venom Shock. We did this one pin up just like that other Black Venom. Always gotta have a black pearl hammer with me. And then as far as storm balls go, we got the Attention Star, the Rock Star, the new Hyperdrive, which is really, really good. That one's gonna come into play a lot. And then later in the day, we have the Zen 25. These two complement each other very well. And then if I need, this is a little bit cleaner than what that hysteria is, but otherwise these shapes are exactly the same, this and that. This is just a little cleaner. And then if I need even cleaner than that, and a little sharper down lane, we go there. So that's what we're working with today, and we'll see what we got.
And they looking at a chance at 221. J.R. Raymond keeping hope alive for 241. That's flush from Raymond.
Good job, old man.
And he's just piping it right at the pocket. There's nothing fancy about what J.R. Raymond is doing right now.
All right, heading into day two. Day one went pretty well, honestly. I feel like I bowled fairly well. Just try to get rid of the 167. The 167 was not a very good game. Made the jump from the high end to the low end, and when I was using the urethane a little bit straighter, which you saw, as soon as I got to that low end, definitely hooked a lot. They hooked a lot more down on the low end, so have to keep that in mind. Today, for day two, we start on the high end and then immediately make the jump to the low end. So that might be beneficial for me, because then I won't have to I won't be in the middle transition games to where I won't know whether I need to jump left or not, because I started that game yesterday where I bowled in game 5, I bowled 167. I threw the first shot and stuck, and I ended up going Brooklyn, just dead jammed it, went Brooklyn, it struck. So that's kind of unfortunate there, because I didn't get a good read on seeing that the ball was just overhooking, so I couldn't make a decision right away, so I had to throw another one. And then I threw another shot, and it went high at 3.6 or 3.610, and it hooked pretty fast. So I'm like, all right, maybe I can make a move. And I made a small move, because it's urethane, you usually don't have to make huge moves with those, but it's still overhooked and 3.6 again. So I made the spare, made one more bigger move, and then I washed out. I made the spare, but it washed out. So I'm like, okay, urethane's done, gotta go left. So I started to chase it really far left. I mean, it was literally a jump from standing on 19 with my feet to standing on 45, because everybody was already in there. After game 2, everybody jumped in there, and I was able to stay right with urethane, which again is what I'm hoping I'm able to do today. We'll see how many people use urethane and how many people stay further right today. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but we'll see. But if I do have to go left, like I said, I've got plenty of these bowling balls that looked pretty good. That hysteria at the end looked great, looked really good, bowling 220 at the end. A couple of bad shots in the game, but made the spares, clean 220, not a big deal. Ended up 140 over, so we're sitting 23rd out of almost 200 bowlers, so not a bad block. Hoping to put another block up like that right now. We start at 9 o'clock, so that's my day 1 recap, and I will let you guys know how things go for day 2. So we're just trying to keep ourselves in play. If we don't make this cut, no big deal. We're just trying to make ourselves be in good position for the World Championships. That's really the goal there. So daily cuts are just a bonus. So hopefully we get a bonus. If not, oh well, we're moving on to the World Championship. We'll move on to the next pattern tomorrow. So anyway, I'm out of here. We will see you guys for the recap for tomorrow.